All right, we got a couple quick hitters looking back at what this theoretical magnetic charge is. We've touched on it a couple times in Chapter 5. We'll see it again. It's always going to come up and be in theoretical considerations. The statement reads, assuming that Coulomb's law for the magnetic charge Qm reads, F is equal to mu naught over 4 pi Qm1 Qm2 over script r squared in the script r hat direction. Work out the force for the monopole Qm moving with velocity v through the electric and magnetic fields E and B. All right, so what we know is the current Maxwell's equations, but if we modify them for this magnetic monopole, we see that the divergence of B is equal to some constant times rho m, and the curl of E is equal to J, or some constant beta naught Jm. Okay. All that to say, these are all modifications that are not actually within the scope of Maxwell's equations because we have yet to find a monopole. And then we saw back from Chapter 5 that the new force law would look something like this, where the 1 over c squared was strictly there for dimensional analysis and making sure the units worked. Again, theoretical considerations only. If we were to look at this, as far as the solution goes, we see that since we are only concerned with the magnetic charge, we can now integrate this divergence of B, which turns out that the constant was mu naught, rho m, and find out what the B field is. Pretty quick, d tau would be just, a sphere, whatever you want to use for your surface. But they summarize pretty quickly to B equals mu naught over 4 pi over Qm r squared, script r squared, in the script r hat direction. And if we say that we're only worried about the monopole term, force is equal to Qmb, and therefore B is equal to force over Qm, which has the form of mu naught over 4 pi Qm over r squared in the r hat direction. We kind of expected this. Let's just keep it moving. But what this does tell us is that in that total force modification, that the force law has the form of the force is proportional to Qm B minus 1 over c squared V cross E, okay, from the no page. But we see here that from above and from every other consideration, the proportionality constant must be 1 in order to reproduce Coulomb's law for the point charge. Hence, we just see that force is equal to Qm times this, or the second part of the modified force law. Pretty quick there, pretty easy, but just be aware these, considerations are always going to be present.